Hey guys, it's Priscilla with Holistic Healing Homestead. I am back at the Delaware Homestead, and today I was out here air layering. You can kind of see proof of it. One of my plum trees. The tree is too big to take with us, so just going to air layer it and make identicals, and then we can leave this one here and it can continue to produce here. So instead of taking all the fruits down with us to South Carolina, we're going to leave some here, so we'll have some here as well, and then we can just make genetic clones and have some down there as well. So we'll have them in both homesteads, the Delaware homestead and the South Carolina homestead. So essentially what I'm going to do is, instead of uprooting them, I'm going to make clones of them, 3 to 5 maybe for right now of each tree. But for right now, started the process of cloning this one plum tree behind me. Then I'm going to do that plum tree there. And then, I don't know if you can see with the glare, all the trees down the little side orchard on the side of the house. So, I do have a tripod, but it's in the house and I don't feel like going to get it. So I was already out here, and if I went back inside, I wasn't coming back outside. So I had to make do. I showed each step kind of after I did it, but I'll explain it in the video that proceeds after this intro. Okay. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions on the process, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comments and I'll try to address it as best as possible. But this is a way to get identical trees from the trees that you already have planted in your yard, if you like that fruit set. Now, the only thing to take consideration of is a lot of trees are grafted. So when you do the air layer, you're not going to have the graft. So you're going to have a standard size tree. And depending on that type of tree, the tree overall can get very, very large. So keep that in mind. Most trees nowadays are grafted on specific rootstocks to either shrink the size of the overall tree by giving it a dwarf rootstock or semi-dwarf rootstock, or rootstock that are disease resistance, or fungal disease resistance. So there's different reasons why trees are grafted, but if you want an identical version of the tree that you like, you can do an air layer and get a standard version of that tree. It's just not going to be grafted on a rootstock. Keep that in mind. All right, hope you enjoy the video. All right, when you are doing the air layer, you've got to scratch the bark all the way around. So I typically will cut about 1 inch to 2 inch long, and then pull that bark back like I'm doing with my fingers now. And then from there, once you get it off all the way around, you're going to want to start scraping it. But first you got to make sure all that bark is gone. Then once all the bark is gone, you've exposed the cambium layer. You want to get something sharp, be it a scissor or a knife. I've got a knife here and I am going to town, scratching. You want that to go all the way down, literally to what they would call the white meat. You don't want to feel the slimy feel of the cambium layer. You want to get to the actual inner bark. That's going to help it when it comes to the rooting process. See, I'm just scratching all the way around. You want to make sure there's no cambium layer, which is usually that that yellow or that little tint of green. Then from there, I start to get a Ziploc bag. I started out with a snack size bag, but then I ended up with a quart size bag here. You fill it up halfway with wet soil. Squeeze out the excess water, but you want to leave that soil very damp, but you don't want it soggy or soaking wet. So I'm letting that excess water drain out. Then you fold it back over again. And this is a method that I learned from Lead Farmer 73. And the way he air layers, I just kind of mimic that. And his air layer technique is called a chili dog. So you get it in half, and then you put a slit right down the middle, like that. Once you got the slit down the middle, put that to the side, get your rooting hormone, and put on the top portion of where you cut that bark. and expose that inner bark. So next time I'll use a smaller brush because I wasted a lot of the rooting hormone powder here, but I did the job. So you take the rooting hormone powder or liquid or gel, whichever you decide to use, and just put it on that top portion. And then you get your bag with the soil. Where that slit is, that's where you're putting right over that exposed bark. And then you're gonna take that overlap and you're gonna fold it over, and then you're gonna zip tie it all. I usually do 3 zip ties, zip tie in the middle and each end to hold it securely in place. And then once all is said and done, I wrap it with foil. So here's the after. And then I did 2 other ones, and you just cut the excess of the zip tie and you wrap it all in foil. And that's it. Thanks for watching.